Hello, dudes. Tonight, we're going someplace people never talk about when they bring up the Mayflower. Not colonies, not pilgrims. We're driving into the shorelines, the original coastlines of Patuxet, long before Plymouth had a name. Because the ocean didn't just carry settlers, it carried trauma, spirits, and a haunting that started before the Mayflower ever dropped anchor. This is the spirit of the shore, the native haunting of the Mayflower. And trust me, once you hear what still walks those beaches, you won't romanticize Thanksgiving ever again, even though I want to stuff my face. Let's get into it. What is up, dudes? Welcome to the Paranormal Dudes Podcast, episode 76. We are back at it again. Welcome back. We had a great episode last week. You should go watch it. If you want to learn about inside farts, if you don't know what that is, go back and you'll learn about it. We have it tagged on we have it timestamped so that you don't have to go searching for it. It's called Oscar's Inside Farts. And Stranger Things. This week, Stranger Things is coming out. We had an episode on it last week. Go check it out if you want to see what we had to talk about. It's about the real Stranger Things, which is the Montauk Project. It was a good episode. All right. Also, before we continue, make sure you subscribe. A lot of you that are watching our videos or listening to our show on other platforms, you're not following us. You're not subscribed. I highly suggest you do it, or else a hitman with a wheelchair will come to your door.
A ghost hitman in a wheelchair.
But
Me?
Maybe. But welcome back. Welcome in. We have some sad news. Once again, Oscar has been possessed and he's no longer with us today. Not like that, no longer with us.
We're
He's
going to
just
try
possessed.
and bring him back.
We're going to try to bring him back. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Vaya con Dios, Oscar. I hope he's okay. Anyway, I have a couple little things that happened to me while we were away from each other. I actually have something I want to share. I will go last. Has anything happened to you guys? Don't look at it. Don't look at it yet, Jesse. Both of you. I see both of your faces.
I'm not looking at it. I just want to. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Has anything happened to you guys ever since the last time we spoke?
No.
Well, yeah, something. And I was kind of hoping Oscar would be here for it.
Why?
Well, we had a little bit of I want to say like a family emergency late last week. I won't get into details about it because she kind of wants to keep it on the low, but
for sure.
Over the weekend, me and my daughters were here home alone. My wife left to San Diego to be with our oldest. And we all, we weren't watching scary movies or nothing, but we all ended up talking about it today that we all had a similar dream.
Interesting.
And very similar because actually we were all in the same place and all dreamt of the same person, all doing basically the same thing. And it turned out they dreamt that we were all out in Disneyland. And while we were walking about, they ended up seeing their father, their biological father. And in their dream, they dreamt that their father was there to steal them away or take them away.
Mm-hmm.
And they both had the same, but like to themselves, not to like each other. Like he was there to take one or the other. But in my dream, I dreamt that we were all there. And
Mm-hmm.
at one point, we ended up like wrestling the girls away from each other. And it was weird because it was all of us had like the similar dream that we were trying to get away from him. And I was trying to get them away from him. And it was just kind of a trip because we talked about it a little bit over dinner and we were just kind of like, why do we all dream the same thing?
That's crazy. Do you when has that happened before where you guys dream the same thing?
Not like that. No.
Hmm.
I
Dude,
think you guys were more like manifesting as a family to
think so?
prevent whatever it was that happened last week.
Can be. Or not to put some crema on the tacos, but is it an entity that's doing that? Maybe the thing that's there at your house, possibly.
You know, I wouldn't doubt it because we have come across a lot of really bad luck in the last few weeks. We had our pipes explode in the walls and there was water everywhere, along with the outlet pipe that goes down to the sewer. That was, I mean, destroyed. It looked like somebody put a firecracker in there and blew it up.
Yeah.
That destroyed a lot of our kitchen, like our walls and stuff. We got to get new drywall and everything. What else has happened? We were experiencing I guess you would say like a malfunction in our sprinklers out back, but we had no idea that they were going on for like 5 hours a day. And
What?
when I got my water bill, I was like $700. And I was like, why? Like, there's no way we don't wash that much. We don't, it's not like we're doing that much, anything different.
Right.
And I was like, and it couldn't have been the pipes because that was only going for maybe overnight when we heard it. And then we realized one day that we were out sitting out back that the sprinklers went on and they didn't turn off and they kept going and they kept going. We thought, well, maybe they'll turn off in a little while. We went inside. Then I came back out and it was like 4 hours later and they were still running. There was like water all over the place. And I was like, no, this has been going on daily. And we had to actually disconnect them from power completely so we can get them fixed or whatever. But yeah, that's been going on for some time now. A lot of shorts in the house, like the lights go out for no reason and we have to go all the way out to the breaker box to set them back up. Just a lot of like things like added on over and over and over different things. And I mean, I haven't pointed it towards the paranormal, but now that we talk about this, possibly something manifesting and all that, there's a possibility.
Well, that's very common anyways, like, with, like, the house that my sister used to live in off of Olive, that we call the greenhouse. She had a lot of hauntings there, and a lot of it was water, like pipes bursting, water would turn on full blast out of nowhere, um, like sprinklers, water, stuff like that.
Would you guys chalk it up? This is like poltergeist activity?
I don't think it's poltergeist.
No,
No?
I don't think so. Cause no, doesn't have that kind of
Mm-mm.
doesn't have
That
that kind of a
vibe?
feeling or doesn't have that kind of activity. This is almost like something like that's meant to inconvenience us. I don't think it's trying to scare
Okay.
us out. I think it's just trying to bother, like just over and over and over and over and over. Because I mean, it ends up, all this stuff just keeps boiling over itself, and it boils over within emotion between the family too. It's kind of like, oh, why is it got
I
to be
mean,
this way?
yeah, I mean, not
And
to alarm you, but those little instances of annoyance think of it over time, happening over and over again for a long period of time, what ends up happening with stuff like that? Some form of psychosis, right?
Te vuelve
So,
loco.
Mhm.
yeah. So be very careful. I know you guys are on the fence about cleansing, right? But I think at the
You need it.
bare minimum, bring in someone to bless the house or
Mhm.
something, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's what we were talking about that too. We were kind of like, you know what? I think it's time we either do another blessing or some kind of cleanse or something, because it's just a lot of stuff over and over and over. And we're like, we're not doing it to ourselves, and we had to like communicate that this isn't us doing it to us. This is an
Yeah.
outside force. It's not us, and it's kind
I mean, I
of
think, yeah, you're right. You're
it's
right.
kind of cleared the air. Like as far as
Mm-hmm.
one inconvenience didn't turn into I told you this, or no, it's more like, oh, here we go. And so we go and take care of it, move along from there. And so I want to say we've been mature enough to see that and look beyond it, because as far as like scary stuff happening, we haven't had anything happen at all. These dreams happened, but even the girls were like laughing about it, because they're like, we know if this ever really happened, it would be over in 2 seconds. For other
Stupid.
non-YouTube
For other
reasons we
reasons,
can't speak of, but
other reasons that we can't mention on here.
but
No,
yeah,
yeah, for sure. I 100% understand that. So, what we were surmising of what was going on, or what entity was in there, or what possible outcomes there were, it goes back to the episode we had with Sandra on here. Do you think what she was saying holds some weight to it, that someone in the real world, not necessarily in the paranormal or the other, you think someone is doing that to you, like some form of brujeria or something like that?
I feel it was, because it's not just hitting us here at home. It's
Oh,
it's touched on my daughter in San Diego,
interesting.
and it's the same kind of thing. Little things that are like annoyances, like
Yeah, like
inconveniences.
inconveniences. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that was partly of what we were thinking of and what we talked about over the weekend, because of the emergency we had, or she had, that
Yeah.
Anna had to go over there. And yeah, there is that idea in the air that maybe something was thrown this way, or not
Yeah. I
on so
mean,
much on me, but on them.
mhm, definitely. Or
So
maybe
yeah,
you guys as a unit, you know,
Mhm.
someone might be jealous because you guys are from, I mean, these are all optics, of course, or surface level observations. But generally speaking, I would like to believe you guys are in a happy place as a family unit. People, believe it or not, in reality, people do get jealous of those things,
Mhm.
especially
yeah,
people that know you on a
yeah,
personal level.
and I want to say that is something that did come up, because recently, within the last year or so, I've had a few different instances where I had to cut ties with certain people that I was very close with.
Right.
It kind of all boiled down to how we were as a family here at home, and their own relationships, their own families were not working out that way, and they didn't like it. So it's kind of like, well, why are they so cool with you? Why is everything, there was always that kind of questioning. It was like, because we're just good together. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
But those ties are cut. And I feel not even just from them, but from beyond that, from earlier times than that, because what is going on here at home, what we talked about with Sandra, it has not affected me directly. I have seen things, and I think because I'm sensitive to it in a certain way, I'm
Mhm.
able to notice it, but it hasn't
Right.
attacked me. It's done more inconvenience to them for
Mhm.
different things. And I feel
Yes.
that it's not tied to me directly, but more to them. And that's what bothers me, is
Of
like,
course, they're your family, dude. You
something's
want
coming
to,
after my girls,
yeah,
no, that don't work,
yeah.
because recently I would always tell you guys my dogs would go stare at the closet. or they'd notice something. That has ceased ever since I talked to Sandra and I did the salt and all that stuff. They don't do that no more. They're relaxed. Really? Yeah. My puppy, which was really scared when he was first staying with me here in the room, he would bury his nose in my armpit and just all night stay there. Or he'd pop up and look and then he'd bury his nose again. Now he comes to the room and he lays on the bed and he's like on his back, like,
yeah,
and it's like that's a sign of showing that they're super comfortable. So he's like really, really comfortable. He doesn't sleep on his stomach. He doesn't ball up no more. My other dog, he lays out and he's chill all night. So I feel like whatever it is not coming from me or not directed towards me. I feel like something was directed towards them. And that's what we kind of talked about, was like, we need to look at,
or maybe as a family unit, you guys are a target. What if the objective here is for this person is trying to create some kind of divide or create some turmoil? Because really think about it, with all these inconveniences that compile over time, what ends up happening? You start getting upset. Everybody's agitated. Everybody's on edge all the time. And then you start fighting amongst each other. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's very important to get the ball rolling with
something,
a cleanse or something.
Yeah.
Before it starts turning volatile amongst you guys because of what is going on. That's it's really sad to hear, but because that's my perception of your home life or your situation, is that you guys are a family unit. You guys are there for each other, and nobody's living situation is perfect. No one's, but I want to say that it's good. It's on good terms, and because that's how I perceive it, and it's sad to hear that, and it's sad to think that there's individuals in the world that can't do self-reflection and think, what am I doing wrong? What do I have to fix in order for things to be better? Instead, they look outward and they look at your situation and say, I'm jealous of this guy and his family because why can't I have that? They feel entitled to having those things instead of working on those things to get there. And essentially what they do outwardly is try to sabotage in many ways. We know people that are like that in our lives. A lot of us, all three of us do.
Unfortunately.
And we know people, I know people personally, I'm sure Jesse does too, and so do you, that have used brujeria to get back at people or, destroy their situations. For sure.
And just even their negative energy and their ill,
their ill will, yes.
Yeah, their ill will and everything.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. And I mean, it's sad, but yeah, I mean, people that are out there just don't care. And they do it just to directly harm whoever is not them.
Yeah, because what ends up happening is by hurting you, it makes them feel better about themselves. Because then your situation is at the same level of what they feel or what they perceive as bad. So I'm sorry this is happening, buddy. And that's my only suggestion to you. And I feel that Jesse's going to say the same, is that the cleanse or the blessing, or do something, because
I personally feel like your wife and kids need to be there when it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we talked about. We said, you know what, this has to be done, and we all have to be here. Even my daughter in San Diego, like, we all need to be here together for this, because we've all seen different things. We've all gotten to that agitation, and luckily, like I say, maturity wise, we were all able to talk it out and say, hey, we're not doing this to each other, and there's no reason for us to be mad at each other for it. And everybody agreed to that. And actually, any little inconveniences that have come after that, since the water break and all that, we've just kind of laughed about it and been like, all right, well, we'll get it fixed. like we're not letting it eat at us like it was.
Good. Don't feed
And we
it.
just said, you know what? We're going to get through this, whatever it is. And now it's just a matter of time of getting somebody here to do, a blessing or a cleanse or something. And, I think the bigger part of it is more of like I don't know if I want, I want to talk about this or if I want to have other people know about this, but I'm like, I don't see it as something we should hide. And I mean it for this podcast, because maybe there's somebody else out there that is experiencing something similar.
Absolutely.
And
Exactly.
us sharing and doing this tabletop and talking about it could point somebody in that direction and say, hey, you know what? Me and mine have seen the same, and maybe we should do that ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so
You're 100% correct.
Yeah. So it kind of came to, in the end, was, you know what? We'll do something. We're going to make something happen. And well, I kind of got I want to say the yellow light to go ahead and share as far as I could. But,
all right. That's progress. That's progress. Yeah.
Yeah. Because before it was no, just drop it. No more. And now
You
it's
couldn't
kind
even
of
get
like
to the light. You just made a U-turn somewhere. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I saw the checkpoint and I said, nope, not going to touch it. But yeah, we're looking that way. But that's kind of like what's happened and what I've seen and kind of noted on my own about it. And luckily we've all kind of came to that where we're like, we got this. We're not going to let it beat us. So it's been good. I mean, beside the, like I say, the inconveniences, the super high water bill, it's been good. So we're kind of happy with that.
Well, I mean, I appreciate it that you're sharing this, this vulnerability with, with yourself and your family, because it is important. Like you said, what if there is someone else out there that's experiencing the same thing and they don't know, they can't figure it out. They don't know how to navigate it. Maybe they believe in the paranormal. Maybe they don't. Maybe they stumble upon our video and it helps them in some manner. But I do want to thank you, because it's important to be open with our dudes out there.
Dudes.
Yes, with our dudes.
Definitely.
Oh, that was good, buddy. Thank you for sharing. Jess, do you have anything after you yawn? Would you like to share anything that you have?
I'm like so tired. I feel like I haven't had a coffee today, but I've had like 2.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
I know. Not really. Nothing nothing out of the ordinary. Normal
Right.
stuff, normal, like we stayed at the same hotel that we usually stay at, where I always see like weird things.
Right.
And so yesterday when we were going into our room, there was 3 guys, like I could hear talking, and like they were so loud, and I felt like they were in the, because we get like a suite, and I felt like they were in the kitchen area. So I was like, what the heck? So I got up to pee, and I was gonna like just, peek my head outside to be like, cállate or something, because I didn't want them to wake up.
Yeah.
They were it's because it was so loud. Usually I don't care, but it was so loud and nobody fucking heard it. The kid didn't wake up, but like nobody heard it.
Oh,
And
those
so
are
when
scary moments when you're the only one that hears shit like that.
yes, and they were like, yeah, like they were like coming back from something, because they were like, yeah, it was fun. And like, so then I stood by the door and I put my ear and I could hear it. And then I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna like see somebody walk under it, and like nothing. And then I opened the door and it was like, we were like, it's weird, like the way that the I don't know, the only way I can explain it is like a cul-de-sac of doors, because they're like suites.
Oh,
So it's like a, down
it's
the
like the
long,
end of the hallway, pretty
it's like the end
much.
of the hallway. Yeah. So like I opened the door and I was like, there's nobody there. So I was like, I was just more like annoyed than anything.
That's strange. But the same hotel, you got who's the one that mentioned that hotel has some history? Was it you, buddy?
Which
It's the one
hotel
by
was
the
that?
mall.
Oh yeah.
By the mall.
It's got a
So
lot
it's
of
not the one next to Starbucks, but the one, it's a town suite, the Marriott. So not the Fairfield, but the towns.
and
And they're
those
doing a
ones
lot of
they used
construction
to.
there too.
Oh,
Everything's blocked off on the back because they're like doing construction. And then there's like different people coming, like obviously like people stay there, but
I mean, it's
Like,
a
just
hotel. I hope they're coming.
but just weird vibes, like, the construction workers and people that, like, are just in the lobby, like, very weird people, like, I'm like, "Oh."
Okay.
Yeah,
You were going to
they
say about something about the building, buddy?
those hotels, they were used for mental
Oh,
health
that's right.
patients, kind of like
That's right.
Oh, that's what you said. That's right.
yeah, and they would house them there for 1 or 2 months before they could find them a place to relocate and live, like kind of like a community home or something. So it was kind of like the place that they'd put them so somebody can come and check on them from time to time. And yeah, there is some history because there's been, everything from um
Probably
self-offing themselves.
freaking yeah, I was gonna
Mm.
say
Yeah.
Self-unaliving. Yeah.
There you
unaliving.
go, self-unaliving.
Mhm.
Um a lot of, drug problems and other things like that that happen there. And
hmm
they've kind of slowed down using them as much, but they still are available for excuse me. They still are available for
Kind of like
like
a halfway house. I feel like I've said that before about this situation.
kind of like a halfway house, but there's nobody there supervising them 24/7. So they're kind of living there on their own.
Okay.
Sometimes they use it for like I don't know how to say this on YouTube. You might have to bleep it out, but for like women that have been
Like,
in
Say it.
domestic
domestic,
abuse.
Oh,
uh-huh,
okay. Domestic
Yeah, for those that
abuse.
have that have been
domestic
in
abuse
domestic abuse,
cases. Mhm.
they'll send them there and house them there for the meanwhile till they find them a place to relocate. So
Okay.
kind of like a safety home type thing. And there's different
Oh,
reasons that the county
just
uses
a
it, but they
lot
use it
of
a lot.
crazy shit coming
Yeah.
into one central location. Now think of that on an energy level. And Jesse's up there with her kids on whatever floor in the suite. Think of that.
I
I feel bad for
mean, I
Vata.
love
It's
that
like
hotel.
disco colors.
Oh, I know. Just
I know.
auras going crazy up
I
there.
mean, when we were there this weekend, there was just a bunch of military people.
I'm sure Jesse
Gosh,
sat
imagine
in
the emotions and energy
the
for them.
fucking.
My God.
Now hearing that, I know Jesse spent a lot of time in the lobby. That's for
No, I
sure.
didn't. That's so gross.
The pool was empty before
It
she
was
got there.
so cold and rainy.
Yes, before she got there. Okay, so at my house, there's
Can we look at the picture now?
I'm next. I'm gonna pull it up. So remember back then, my dudes. Yes, you, my dudes. If you've been here long enough, you remember Jesse saying a while back, earlier this year, that there is a spirit that is a child, a boy in my house and likes to follow me around and play games with me. So we put up the Christmas lights today in front of my house. I'm going to blur out the number of my house, but let's go ahead and just look at this, okay? I'm going to share my screen with you guys and just show you what I'm looking at. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see this.
Yes.
I'm looking at it on my phone, but yes.
And I
Okay,
already
so
saw him.
you saw it already? Okay.
Mhm.
So this is for my dudes out there. Just to paint a picture, point out who's in the photo. That is my daughter in her coat, pantuflas, and her little pants with her tablet off to the left and our decorations everywhere. Now, let's zoom in. Okay. Technically, in this photo, there's one person and one person's taking the picture. No one else is out here for this. Who is that?
That's a little boy.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Oh, makes me so sad.
He honestly looks like he wants to play with your daughter.
It does, right?
Like,
Well,
little
he's
kids,
looking
when they
at the
want to play, they
house.
kind of like peek around the corner, like, I want to play with those kids.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right? So my my daughter, obviously my daughter didn't pick up on anything, but when we snapped the picture, we're looking at it after. And Sally asked me, I'm like, are you in this picture? I'm like, what? No, I was inside. You don't remember I was inside? And she goes, oh yeah, that's right. Who is that? And I go, well, Jesse did say there's no.
Why me? You're like,
Well, Jesse, I told her, well, I don't know if you've been paying attention. I know you don't watch the podcast. So Jesse said a long time ago, earlier this year, a long time ago, it was like earlier this year, that I don't know, podcast time. I feel like that's a long time ago because it's so long ago as far as episodes go. And I told her, Jesse said there's a little boy that follows me around or lives in the house. And she's like, so just in the house? Like, is it just you? I'm like, no, it's just in the house. Like the boy is a part of the house. I know for a fact that when I leave, when I go travel somewhere, the boy's not present and the boy's attached to the house. And this is crazy. This is like proof in the pudding almost. It's like connecting the dots. Kind of spooky. Okay. Yeah, it's a little boy and I shouldn't feel too scared or whatever, but seeing it is wild. Okay. And before I gotta black out that too. Before anybody says, oh, it's AI or it's Photoshop, dude, look at the shitty pixels on this iPhone. Okay.
wow.
There's no way.
Of course, you had to say something.
I had to throw the little shade there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, I think you're right, buddy. The little boy was just like, oh, I want to play with her. Little daughter right here. That's nuts.
But he's looking at the house.
Is he? I can't tell. I thought he was looking at Owie. Is he looking at the house or Owie?
He's looking at the house.
Yes.
Like he's looking maybe at the reflection of the mirror in the window, like maybe the snowflakes or something.
Oh.
Which is even creepier.
I mean, now I'm thinking, so this little boy had to have passed in the past, what, 25, 30 years?
Have you ever asked or looked into who lived there before, anything before?
I haven't. Maybe I should.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, not to alarm anybody, but next to my front door, you know, when someone laying out cement, you can write stuff in it or whatever. There's a slab that leads up to my backyard on the side of the house. And right next to the door, whatever family was here when they were doing that, put their hands and their names on there. Maybe I should check out one of those names.
Yes.
The little boy name.
Yes.
Okay. Isn't that crazy, guys? What do you guys?
That's wild.
Nuts to me.
I mean,
That
it's
is
crazy
wild.
because it's like, what the hell? But like, I mean, as soon as you sent the picture, like I immediately was like focused on that little boy.
Like right in the middle, right?
Yeah, because it makes me sad. It made me sad.
Yeah, I
It
saw it right
does,
away, and I
you know.
started looking everywhere else to see if there was something else, but no, it's just that.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, when in this house, whenever I'm by myself, which is rare, and when I am, I don't feel alone. Like I feel something's there or something's hanging out right next to me and at me or touching my leg as I'm going up the stairs. And like I've said in the past, I've experienced a lot of things and I know when it's something negative. I'm not clairvoyant whatsoever, but I could sense when something's malicious and when something's not. Usually when something's negative in energy, I get like a heat wave over my body, or I feel like I'm
Yeah,
going
you can tell
pale.
if it's something negative.
Yeah, for sure. But this doesn't feel that way. This feels like it's just hanging out, like it's kicking it. I know you've said in the past, Jess, where you told me to tell the boy to go away or whatever. I just don't. I hope the little boy spirit gets, because I feel like he's sad a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like you need to. I think you just need to maybe light a white candle
Okay.
so he can like go towards the white candle, like towards
Find his way.
find his way. Like, I don't think it's not anything malicious. You have to be like, get out or leave me alone or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe if he's bothering you, be like, hey, calmate, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But I would like white light candles just so that it kind of guides him. But I
Yeah,
feel
maybe
like
I'll.
this boy, like he either passed with his dad or somebody like that was a male figure or he was close to it.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Why he's constantly, wanting to be around me or searching for me. I feel like when the spirit poked his head out, where I feel like someone's standing in darkness and at a small stature, that he's like looking for me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Oh, that's heavy. We haven't started an episode where it's like heavy. This is like a heavy start. Usually the jokes come first and then we start getting a little serious. Okay.
I know.
Well, thank you everybody for listening to our recent paranormal experiences. A little heavy on just a tad bit, a tad. But tonight we have an objective. We are going to talk about a very uncomfortable thing that surrounds a holiday here in the United States that for some is an awkward conversation, but guess what? We're a bunch of awkward people on a podcast. So we're going to be talking definitely about the spirit of the shore, pretty much the native haunting of the Mayflower, because it's Thanksgiving this week. So appropriately, let's go ahead and talk about that. And we've got one of the best voices tonight that's going to... Oscar's here from the other side.
You're going to put a floating head like Oz?
I'm going to put on a ghost box right now, or a voice box, and see if he comes through on the other side.
Oh my God.
I am the Wizard of Oscar. Oh. All right, I'll take
it. Oscar's going to be speaking through Buddy.
Oh my God.
In this episode. So we're going to try to make this work. Oscar and Buddy, take it away.
Wow.
Oh, hey guys. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Let's set the stage, and it's totally not Chuz. And I promise you, it's probably a little buns.
Little buns?
Little buns.
Oh, God.
Little buns.
So let's set the stage here. This is the land before the ship, which is the real history of the Mayflower. So the land the Mayflower landed on wasn't new. It was Patuxet, home of the Wampanoag people for thousands of years. Here's the part most history books skip. By the time the Mayflower had arrived in 1620, Patuxet was already eerily silent. It wasn't because people mysteriously disappeared. They had been devastated by a European-born disease years before. Entire villages were emptied overnight. Survivors said the coastline itself felt off, like the land had absorbed grief.
Do we know what plague?
Disease? I know it's
what disease?
Smallpox.
Oh, smallpox. Okay.
In
I thought it was like gonorrhea
1492
or something.
No, in 1492, when Christopher Columbus had come down and discovered the New World, they discovered Indians, which they believed they had landed in India because they didn't know the world was round. Upon getting here, they brought disease with them, which would have been smallpox or even the common cold, which the Native Americans at the time, or the natives of the New World at the time, had never been exposed to. So illnesses such as a common cold or especially smallpox would have been hugely deadly to those people. Would have felt like kind of like a curse or some kind of plague that a god would have put upon them, because all of a sudden these people are just dying from nowhere.
From nothing. Yep. Okay. Nice context. Thank you for that. I needed that. I don't know if you needed that, but I needed it.
So yeah, that's what would have happened. I mean, at that time, everybody got sick and cold and they started just dying off. And they say, from the research I read into, was once they returned, which would have been with the Mayflower and bringing all the Pilgrims, arriving on the shores, they wouldn't have been met by Indians anymore. They would have been met with nothing but empty beaches, and probably walking into like old Indian villages or old Indian settlements where there was, people already dead within those homes or within those teepees or whatever was left because of the illnesses.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine you get there somewhere and there's just dead bodies?
There's just death everywhere.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's like the Salton Sea.
Oh man. Yeah, that's horrible out there. Probably smelled worse than that too.
Well, yeah, all the freaking bodies
all the
decomposing.
Isn't there like a lot of sulfur coming out of there too?
Out of the Salton Sea, there's a lot of different things. There's methane, there's sulfur. The biggest thing right now is they're finding there's a lot of lithium underneath of it. So that's slowly poisoning all the fish. And there's actually probably no fish left. But for a while, there was massive fish die-offs where one day the water would be normal. The next day you come out in the morning and there's millions of fish lining the shoreline dead.
The coastline?
Yeah.
Coastline.
So
shoreline. Yeah.
Over the next few days, it'd be infested with birds eating all the dead fish and the fish rotting. And yeah, that place smelled like death for a long time. Even the people today out there that live there, they say when it's windy, you don't go outside because the dust is so toxic. Breathing it will get you really badly sick. You'll end up in the hospital. Yeah.
Then why even live there? We're getting into you know what? Let's table this, and it's going to be a whole nother episode, the Salton Sea.
Yeah, I'm sure that does have its own scariness out there.
That is fucking scary in itself.
Yes.
So the part that comes after this is the shoreline story that no one talks about.
Okay.
So there's a little known Wampanoag oral story, rarely shared publicly, about a night in the years before the Mayflower when the shoreline screamed. Witnesses said they heard 3 long wails coming from the ocean, not human, but also not animal. The next morning, dozens were dead from the mysterious sickness. The belief was the sea was warning them. When the Mayflower finally arrived, some Wampanoag elders reportedly stood at the tree line watching silently. One told the younger members, "The ship does not bring life. It returns what the sea cried for." And here's the part none of your school books mentioned. Pilgrims who kept journals wrote about seeing figures along the beach that night, but none of the figures left footprints.
Oh, hell.
I mean, I could see that. Can you imagine? Like
all that trauma, and they're just tied to that land. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's funny when you're a kid, Thanksgiving time, or it's the week of Thanksgiving or whatever, or the week before, because when we were kids, we got a week off. And it was just like, let's draw a turkey with your hand. And we're just talking about like the Pilgrims and at the time, politically correct was Indian back then. And And then the Indians, they were all friends. They had like a bunch of cool pictures together, giving each other high fives and like fucking each other, and it's just like this.
Oh my God.
And you're just like, oh, this looks like a great, good old time. And then you get into stories like this, and you're just like, oh,
The reality of it.
the reality of it. Okay.
So, coming to that story there, with the journals and the stories that they saw figures on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
There was also stories that came from the Wampanoag during this research that I did today, the quick stuff that I looked over. And the Wampanoag also saw figures while they were watching these boats arrive, because at night they could see the lighting that the boats had, the lanterns. Yeah. And from that point, they said those were the spirits coming from the ocean. They could hear those screams. They could hear these wails. And by whales, I mean like screams, not whales,
Screams,
not like, yeah. They were like, they were like a screaming, they said it was like a screaming woman, or as the Pilgrims described it, almost like if it was a woman singing from the shore. So some belief is that it could have been sirens. Yeah.
Sirens? Oh, shit. That's scary.
So that's
so scary.
Goes into more of the cryptid side of this, but
yes, if you don't know what a siren is, it's like an evil mermaid, pretty much. That's crazy.
So they worried about the sirens near the ocean or near the beach. Hold on a second. Hey, go away.
Uh-oh.
Go away.
Was that the dog? Scared?
Yeah, the dog was scared.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're both staring at my closet and crying.
I heard the dog.
I heard the dog, yeah.
He's bothered right now big time.
See, because he just mentioned that it wasn't, they weren't being bothered.
Right. Leave us alone. I want Ethan back because I'm tired of this stuff scaring me now.
But Ethan's was crazy, dude. You guys remember that?
Yes.
Like his TV turning on, his lights, his whole house, the whole house just completely shutting off. And he was just like, oh, it's fine. I hear your dog, dude. He's bothered.
Yeah, he's calmed down now. Right now, they were both standing staring at the closet. Now he's just crying because he wants me to pick him up and play with him, but he's too big now. Yeah, so both sides, they believed it to just be spirits walking on the shore. But neither side could determine whether it was coming from the water, where they saw the movement of like shadows passing by, or if it was on the land itself. And then they have the skeptics that say the reason they found no footprints was because the tide went up, washed them out, and came back down. But a lot of the stuff I looked into said they finally believe it was probably sirens trying to either call the natives out to the water, or because the Mayflower was coming in, all these ships were coming with the Mayflower. They believe that now the sirens were trying to coax people into the water, like if a woman fell in screaming for help.
I love sirens.
They're so scary, though. They're so scary. So the mythos or folklore of sirens is supposedly that they can shapeshift to get you to go in the water, but there's some people that say that supposedly they could actually get onto land for a short period of time, like for not very long. Like they could possibly morph into a human and then come onto the shore briefly, and then they got to get back. That's like the limitations of what they could do on land. That's what I know of. I could be wrong, but I mean, with a cryptid like a siren, I don't think there's like a playbook about them, because there's no real study you could do on a siren yet. But there have been, as of late, especially this year, there's a shit ton on social media. There's a shit ton of videos of sirens, like wailing and things in the night. Like, you know, the big rig ships that go out there with all the containers and all of that. If I could find that video, I'll share it with you guys, where there's a guy that he's like doing the night watch while everybody's asleep up in for the next shift. And he hears wailing and he's filming, and it sounds like it's coming from water, and it looks like something swimming next to the boat, next to the ship. And he goes, "What the hell?" And then more wailing, and then he starts hearing singing, and then he hears a woman's voice say, "Follow me," or "Hello, come on in," or "Come with me."
Come here.
Stuff
Come
like
here.
that. Oh, dude, that's so scary. So scary. And Jesse, I love sirens.
If I heard that shit, I'd be like, sorry, girl. I don't know how to swim.
Sorry, I didn't bring floaties. Sorry.
It's just probably easier like to capture men because they'll be like wanting to protect a woman or something.
I feel it was more like aimed towards men, because in those times, men were the only ones that were on ships.
Yeah, of course. Yes. During the,
it was considered, yes. Well, yeah.
It's true. Yeah. It's true.
There's also a historical document.
The other podcast we're putting together, the men versus female one.
There is also a historical document that I think all of us have seen it. I know I saw it a lot growing up. Sirens can come on the ground, on Earth, on land.
Okay.
But they have to lose their voice first and give it to their aunt, which holds it in a little shell, and she'll put it on, and then...
And there's a little red lobster crab or whatever.
A little Jamaican crab that hangs out with him.
And a seagull.
And there's a little chubby flounder fish.
Oh.
Did you ever see the live action one? Flounder looks horrifying compared to the cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah, horrifying. You know, I've been wanting to talk about sirens for a very long time on this podcast. We're kind of, I know this episode's not about sirens, but I feel like in the future we have to have an episode about sirens, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Jesse, sure.
You're fucking asking. I'm saying yes.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it. So, okay.
And testosterone.
The shoreline story possibly could be sirens. Think of all that, like the abundance of crazy shit that's going on during this time. There's a plague going on. The natives are like, what the fuck? Like, we're fine. Like, nothing's happening. We just hit some ayahuasca before these guys came here, and now we're all dying. What's going on? And then you got a siren coming up. It's like, what's up? I want to be a part of the party too. You guys got turkey. And then you have ghosts just running across the land.
Where are the turkeys coming from?
Yeah, where are the turkeys coming from? Is that coming from
Turkeys are actually a European animal. They weren't American.
So they brought them over. Okay.
Turkey was brought along with them, which would have probably been brought along either live or preserved in salt.
Ooh.
Salted turkey.
Brined turkey.
Very much so. Dry brining a turkey for months.
Yeah, dry brining a turkey for months. Yeah, because I mean they're on a sail ship, or what are they called? Man, I used to watch Pirates of the Caribbean way unhealthily too much. Is it called a cutter? No, I thought they're called a
frigate.
Damn it, frigate. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, that would have been along a frigate, probably.
Nerds.
Which is very very good, because it leads us into this next part a little bit.
Did you catch that, buddy? Did you catch that before? You didn't catch
I did not
that,
catch it.
She said she called us nerds under our breath. Okay.
Just please don't do the accent. Okay.
I won't.
Thank you.
I retired that accent when I was 22. I won't do it.
I don't know.
Scout's honor. I've never been a scout, but I'm saying this anyway. I won't do it anymore.
Which accent, love?
Thank God.
You mean
I
this
think
one, love?
he had it on his voicemail at one point.
Yeah, you remember I had it on my voicemail like
yes, I do.
so cringe, young Sergio. So cringe. I did a
Current
lot of
Sergio is
cringy
cringy.
things.
Yeah, I think all versions have been.
There's no stop to that. It's like Sergio cringe roulette.
Okay.
And yet
The
here
only
we are.
the only changes is that I just get older. It's just a different level of cringe, right? That's all.
That's all it is. Yeah,
Yes.
we just evolve with it.
Yeah.
an evolution of cringe. I'll take that.
Yes. Yeah, don't hide
And
from
here
it.
we are, buddy. And here we are.
Push it out there.
And here we are now.
And still.
And still. Okay.
So this next
That was
part will be the
insightful.
yes. The next part is the Mayflower's hidden hauntings. These are all
Ooh.
documented, but they're rarely discussed. So as for the dry brine turkeys and whatever was brought across in the Mayflower, you may have heard of scurvy, cold, the common cold, and rats. They're all the usual horrors that you would find on these boats, which would bring disease to the pilgrims that were coming this way.
Right.
But one pilgrim, John Holland, wrote something strange before his death. He described seeing a dark figure standing on the waves, not swimming, but standing.
Oh,
hell
He said it looked like a man wearing no clothing, long hair, and skin darker than night. One night later, Howland was swept overboard and miraculously survived. He claimed that the same figure pushed him back toward the ship with a force stronger than any man's. Some historians will dismiss it, but indigenous oral tradition says that the coast was protected by puku wudigias, small, powerful spirit beings tied to the land and sea. And their job, it was to keep balance and sometimes to punish.
That's crazy.
that is crazy. Like Maui?
I have one question. Okay. They were naked. What kind of hog we working with here?
I knew you were going to say that. You're like, which shadow was it down his knees
shadow
or
was
was the
casting?
shadow?
What
I'm
shadow
just gonna-
casted over the
I'm just going to point out the
frigate?
obvious. I'm going to just point out the obvious. He had skin darker than any night.
Woo!
Jesse's like, hey, she takes off her
I would
sweater.
have thrown
I'm getting
myself
hot.
in that overboard. I would have thrown myself over that
floaties.
ship.
You heard earlier, right? She doesn't know how to swim, so she'll just jump in there. This dark figure thing sheds a little more light on it, and I feel like the indigenous people of America, they have wards that protect lands and territories,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not foreign. It's for sure not foreign to any legend within the natives. That's imagine just getting pushed out. You're just chilling. Now, I'm not saying think back. You're on a frigate. Everybody smells like ass and like shit. I'm saying now, like you're just on a boat somewhere with your friends or your homies or your family, and some unseen force with a giant hog just pushes you off the boat. That's scary.
Well, wait, the hog man, the hog man, the dark figure. The dark
so they don't know
figure
exactly
didn't pull
what
him
it
off
was
the
that
boat.
pushed him up, right? They don't know what pushed him on back onto the boat.
Yeah, he fell off.
Oh.
Yeah, he fell off the boat. The dark figure pushed him back to the boat.
Oh.
Right. So, but
okay,
he doesn't know with what. Was
So
it with his
it
hog
basically
that
saved
pushed
him.
him up? Or was it his arms that pushed him up?
Like, did the hog, like, like a lifesaver? Did the hog wrap around him to?
No, it placed one hand on each shoulder, and with a third point of contact, lifted him and pushed him to the boat. Like an elevator.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. It's a multifunctional hog.
So the next segment is the forgotten bones beneath Plymouth Rock, which is a real burial site. Here's a piece of history almost nobody knows. In the 1800s, during construction near Plymouth Rock, laborers uncovered a burial pit of indigenous remains. Hundreds of bones. Not a massacre site, more like a ceremonial graveyard. Instead of honoring it, they quietly reburied the bones in unmarked ground to avoid disturbing public sentiment. Archaeologists later found out the coastline shifted over centuries, meaning the Mayflower likely anchored directly above the ancient burial site. Let's let that settle in.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Why would you just rebury that? Why?
Because people do weird shit. They got money to make, moves to make, like crackheads. Like they got nothing to think about. They're just making moves. Let's just do it. I look. I've said this many times on this show. I have a thing about indigenous or native folklore and all of the cryptids and all of it. It scares the shit out of me. It just does. I don't care what anybody says. It just does.
That is very unsettling because you think about it. They unearthed this stuff, and instead of like doing a ceremony or anything back for it, they just were like, just throw it back in the hole and cover it up again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're right too. Like they were building around there because it was going to be a money hole. You know, people wanted to live around there or wanted to settle there, and yeah, instead of taking care of it properly, they just said just build on top of it.
Yeah, well, think of the commodity. This is the land where we first set foot on, India, because they thought it was India. And think of that. It's the first area where they came onto the land, and think how a human would think, especially in today's day and age. They would want, beachfront property. It's just.
Well, yeah, strategically, that's the best place to place your settlement because you have land behind you, you have water to one side. You're, defensive wise, when you're settling, you want to have one side only where anybody could approach you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, putting it up along the ocean or the beach and basically claiming it as your own versus saying, let's respect who's been buried here and move on somewhere else. They're
right.
We don't care. Yeah.
Oh my God. I wonder, so it's all generational, right? Going way back then. I wonder the families that did all of that. Or the names, I should say, the ancestors. I wonder if that bad juju carried on into the people that live today. Wouldn't that be nuts? Like generational hauntings?
I'm sure it does.
Good point. And this actually brings us into our next segment.
Oh, fuck.
Our modern day sightings.
Scared.
Okay. This will be our modern day sightings, which are real reports no one mainstream covers.
My favorite.
So local fishermen in Plymouth today still report weird phenomena. Cold pockets in the water shaped like perfect circles, footsteps on the sand with no one around, chanting at 3 a.m. carried by the winds, and shadows that move along the tree line but vanish when approached. One fisherman said he saw a figure with long hair standing knee-deep in the water, staring at the horizon. When he called out, the figure turned and had no face. He quit his job that night.
I would quit too. Shit.
Yep. And then there's park rangers who have quietly documented this stuff for years. They just call them the shoreline anomalies. Locals call them the ancestors walking.
Mm-hmm.
Tourists think it's the wind. But if you stand on that beach long enough, you'll feel it and you'll know the land remembers.
Dude, I mean, I could see that 100%. I'd be pissed. Like, why'd you just fucking rebury me and put that shit there? Like,
you know what? What was that? Did you hear that?
I heard it, but that wasn't here.
That wasn't here. That sounded like came from Jesse.
Yeah.
What, the whistle?
It was like a bell.
It was like high pitched bell. Yes.
Oh, there it is.
My
There it
microphone.
is.
Oh my God. I was like,
Fucking chicken shit.
shh.
It's
Dude, we're talking
wailing.
about some scary shit right now.
You guys, come on.
We're
What do you
talking
mean,
about
guys?
living
Come
it.
on.
I'm over here
Pinches
yelling at my closet.
Did you not just see the picture? Look, I know it's a little boy and he just wants to kick it, but it's still scary, okay?
He's so cute.
Dude, when you said the chanting at 3 a.m., there was a video that we featured on this show. I forgot what episode it was. It was like it was a while ago. It was a video that Oscar shared, and it was chanting on a beach. There was a bunch of chanting, and then a lady was filming them, and when she got close enough to the chanting, it went silent. Do you guys remember that?
I don't think I was in the pod yet for that. I can't remember the episode either.
I have to ask Osk. I know he has it somewhere, but I'll have him send it to you guys. It's very eerie. It was filmed as if it was like this year, and it's just like any other. You know, you go to a beach and the people are doing weird shit on the beach anyway, especially in California.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what coast it was on. I don't remember. But in the video, you can hear chanting, and you could vaguely see some light or torches off in the distance. And as the lady and some companions of hers, I think she had, as they got closer, the chanting stopped and all the lights went out.
That's weird.
That is weird. And it connected the dots for me when you mentioned chanting at 3 a.m. carried by winds. Oh my God.
You know, and it's very possible that you hear chanting and stuff. You know, they call it residual hauntings.
Yeah,
because if we think about it, the Native Americans, the original Americans, I'm sure that the water in the ocean had a lot of sustenance for them. You know, they brought food from there, fish from there. So it wouldn't be, you know, far-fetched to think they would chant to the ocean to bring them new harvest, new fish and everything to eat. So yeah, I could see that happening on any ocean, on any beach.
Chanting rituals, anything like that. Yeah,
definitely. Just all the things I've experienced in my life with all the native stuff, scary as hell. Do you guys remember when I said at the house in Redondo, or when I lived in LA, and it made that weird knock,
beat knock thing? Yeah,
it was very much reminiscent of a native drum beat. It wasn't something you hear on like the latest Deftones album or anything like that. It was very much, I don't want to say primal, but it was definitely native sounding, I guess you could say. It just all scares the shit out of me. I knew this was going to happen when we were discussing that this was what the episode was going to be about and planning for the episode. I knew it was going to freak me out because native stuff just does. It's native stuff, voodoo, and Santeria. I just can't do it. You can prepare me all you want, Jesse. You could give me all the advice you want, or give me all the tools to protect myself. I'm still going to be scared.
You're still going to shower with your eyes open.
I am definitely, after this episode, I'm going to do that. And I have tape for said occasion.
10 likes and Sergio will visit a brujo for Santeria.
Oh, no.
He's like, no, not even for 10 likes.
Not even 10 likes. Oh.
I'll hold the camera.
I know, right?
Roll it.
Imagine, because like most of those the tiendas that they have in the front, they have a bunch of stuff that looks like just for like fiestas and cumpleaños, and then you get towards the back of the store, then it starts changing.
Yeah.
There's like candles and shit, and then you know what's going on in the back rooms of that place.
Walk
Been in a
past the
bunch of
goat
them.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, why you got a goat and a dead chicken over here?
Next to the candy bags.
Next to the candy bag, next to the hot Cheetos. Why? It's just I've been in a couple of those. One, I think it was Mexicali, and then another one. I think both were Mexicali. I want to say I visited one in LA. I think I did visit one in LA, but you just feel it. You walk into the store and it's just like an overwhelming feeling of just emotion. Like it's a wave of emotion. It's very strange. Jesse, I'm sure you've had your fair share of run-ins with stores like that, right?
Oh yeah. I have to go in and we have to get supplies and stuff. So you have to
For me and my
buy
coven.
them, and you have to even like anything obviously you get or you buy, you have to like cleanse it too.
Yeah, for sure. Buddy, have you ever been inside one of
Yes.
those?
Yes, and I've talked about it before on the show when we walked into Divine Thoughts in El Centro.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one felt like I had hands
Yes.
pulling me and pushing me out of the room.
Oh, that's so strange, dude. What's going on? What is going on right now?
No, I mean, with her, I feel like that's like it's usual. That's like she's like
Okay.
me. She feels things, but obviously she doesn't know. So I think like she just had a moment because like Eric went outside and she was by herself, so she was more able to focus that she was alone.
Mm.
Because usually she's distracted. So
Yeah, like she's more centered and more in tune with her
of
with
what's
her
going on, her
feelings and
surroundings.
her
Yeah.
intuition. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So she was like, "Mommy."
And that's
need
impressive
hug."
because it's only a few minutes or a couple seconds, and all of a sudden he just opens up that quick.
Because now
And
she's
that,
fine.
yeah, now and Demo was just like, he didn't give a shit. He just walked in with a big ass smile, big
He
grin,
just wanted
evil
a
grin.
hug. He's like, she was like, "Mommy, I want to give you a hug," and he's like, "Me too."
Okay. This is a crazy episode, honestly. And I feel like I say that every episode, but this one's something's going on. I don't know. Now, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm like off base, but I feel that Sunday night when we film these, it's like all of the energy comes together or all of the spirits come together and feed off of what we're outputting into the world because of the things we're speaking about, but our energies and that we feed off of each other because number one, Jesse's clairvoyant, buddy, you're damn near there, and Oscar as well. Not so much me, but I just feel the energy we're bringing to the podcast every Sunday. It like creates a chain reaction of events or a chain reaction of, I'm not going to say portal, just energy or something with, especially with all the electronics we're using for the show. What do you guys think?
I feel just us getting together and opening up about this, we're opening up a different mindset. So we're kind of like more open to this happening. So it's kind of like now we notice it more, versus throughout the week or we're on our own. We're not so much focusing on this as we are in the podcast.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. You're 100% correct.
Yeah,
And I think
it's our energy together, I think, in general. Like,
yeah,
we're not a normal bunch.
no,
we
not.
cannot
Not even
we
close.
cannot come together and meet.
Hell yeah, we do
Imagine.
that. Can you imagine?
I
As
mean,
soon as we
we
get together,
are.
it's like, oh, four-way high five, and then portal to hell opens up between us.
This is what we wanted all along.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
Like,
The Ergogor's like, fuck yeah, bro.
My
The
God.
prophecy has come together. They're finally together. Like, dude, imagine. Okay. Like, Jesse, okay, think about it. Did anything happen, Jesse, when you met Osk, when you guys were hanging out? That was the first time you guys ever met.
Not necessarily. Nothing weird happened. I mean, there was like a weird guy behind us talking about some Chapo's wife or something or kid. but
hell?
nothing. I spoke to you about my energies, but
Yeah.
like as far as like anything like crazy, no. But what was crazy is that I like knew where he was.
Yeah, that was crazy. That part was crazy. Jesse's like this. Oscar's like, where are you? Jesse's like,
FBI did you?
that's actually kind of good, though, because
are
if
you
we ever
wearing a
went somewhere
checkered
together
shirt?
and we got separated,
I think
we'd
there's
find each
gonna be
other.
like firecracker
sure.
explosion when Buddy and Oscar meet. Gonna
I
be
know.
like
There's something weird. Something weird is definitely going to happen.
I'm gonna
when
make out with
Oscar
him.
and Buddy meet.
oh my God.
Oh my God.
He doesn't know it's gonna hit. He's like, he
Hit
doesn't
the
know
tension.
It's just going to happen.
He's just gonna let it happen.
His buddy's going to be like, sign this real quick. It's a consent form.
This is your NDA.
oh my God.
Oh my God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we had for it was wonderful, Buddy. Thank you so much. Clap it, Buddy. I love his
Carol, I'm bringing it.
storytelling.
Sorry, I had to throw
Thanks for that
Jesse's
plug, buddy.
YouTube in
Thanks
there.
for the plug.
Thanks for the plug. Yeah.
I can't with you guys.
It was a great episode. A lot of laughs, a lot of emotional things, and definitely scary things, at least for me. We got to talk about sirens finally. And that was just a little snippet. We're going to talk about sirens in the future. I know we are. And so last thought on all of it. Our final thoughts, because Thanksgiving's happening. We're actually going to release this on Wednesday instead of Thursday because Thanksgiving Thursday, whatever. Have you guys, and this is just my general question for you guys to close out this topic in the podcast, this episode. Have you guys ever experienced anything paranormal on Thanksgiving Day? Not your fucking
Always.
tia that hasn't shaved her lip or your uncle who has some weird conspiracy theory. It's more of, just being paranormal. Something not physical.
I mean, paranormal.
You said
like
always, Jesse?
a family member. Yeah, I always do.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
I do too. I do too, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like when it's I guess holidays in general is like I feel like more open. Maybe it's because I miss people that have passed, so I'm more open to like receiving them.
Of course. And I feel the same way. I feel that day itself, especially when I think it's, for me at least, Thanksgiving is morphed into actually a day of gratitude and a day of thanks, and celebrating the people that have been in your life or people that you've lost. And you're thankful that they were in your life. Not so much the national holiday or whatever. It's kind of morphed itself into that. And ultimately that day, I do feel that a lot of my relatives are there eating together. And I have a moment of sadness because that person that I used to experience this holiday with is no longer living, but it's also a joyous occasion as well, because you are thinking about them and the happy moments that you had with them. And I hope you
Mhm.
guys do the same. I honestly do. What do you think, buddy?
I have to say, I've never had anything paranormal happen to me on
So
a
funny, buddy.
Thanksgiving Day. But I will say, yeah, the way you say it, I do remember and reflect a lot about family members that were with us before. Last year's Thanksgiving was kind of hard because we had lost my father-in-law, and this year coming to it, it's going to be the second Thanksgiving without him. And I think about my father-in-law, my own father, my grandparents that I've lost, and
Yep.
yeah, I always will sit there at the table and kind of remember where everybody had their spot at the table, because my family got together a lot. If you remember when we were kids, every weekend they were together at my house.
Yep.
And everybody would sit down and they'd always kind of be in the same spot. And through the years, seeing that,
Just dwindles
that spot is
down
now
to
open, and there's this one's missing, but no, I'm thankful for it anyway, though, because then in the spot that they are missing, we now have my nieces or my nephews or anything that's growing, and my girls now,
Right.
and it is a thankful day for me. But paranormal wise, I've never experienced anything myself.
I mean, I think it's definitely important to feel those things. And same here with the people that I've lost in my life. Just this year I lost my grandfather, and the sad part is that I can't even tell you when it was last that I spent a Thanksgiving with him, which is sad, because increasingly I lived in LA, and it got harder to go back home. And for the holidays, everybody has different schedules, yada, yada, all that bullshit. And,
Mhm.
and then I moved to Vegas, and it was even harder. Um, do I regret it? Yeah, of course. And, you know, but I think it's important for a lot of us, especially those of us that believe in the paranormal and, spirits and ghosts and people in the afterlife, that we do give thanks to them and we celebrate them at the Thanksgiving dinner table. And I think you guys should too, our dudes out there, all of you guys should do the same, because Thanksgiving can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. But to us, that's what it is. And I'm honestly thankful for you guys. We found like magic in a bottle. I'm not saying that, we're uber successful with the podcast, but it's a fun thing to do. And we do entertain people. We do bring people in, and, they enjoy watching the show because they feel they're part of they're part of the homies. They're part of they're dudes. You're all dudes. We're all dudes together, and we're trying to navigate this paranormal life together. And we do appreciate you, and I appreciate you guys as well. And Oscar, speaking to Oscar through Buddy, you as well.
Hey guys, so it's been Buns.
Oh my god.
You guys have any last words
I'm
for
thankful for
our
you
dudes out
idiots
there?
too. Definitely. I'm
Jeez.
thankful that we're able to do this.
Me too. Buddy, got anything for us or the dudes out there?
Yeah, I'm thankful for everybody that watches the show, and I'm thankful for you guys letting me still to this day hang out with you guys, be part of this. I was a fanboy at one point. You guys dragged me on in, and I've loved it ever since. And for everybody out there watching, listening, thank you. Thank you so much. But do us a favor. Try and share our
Subscribe.
show and try and get us some more followers. We're almost at 2,500 followers on YouTube.
Yeah, we're super close on YouTube. Super close.
Mhm.
We
Thank you.
love doing this. Yeah, we do want to thank you. We still pushing it. We're we still have a lot of ideas in the works, and at some point we'll accomplish them. And hopefully, when we meet together and we do this, the world doesn't collapse. And if it does, then you heard it here on episode 76 that we were predicting that.
I think we should do some type of giveaway.
We will.
Okay.
Once we hit 2,500, we'll definitely give, whether it's a t-shirt or some, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out amongst us. But once again, my dudes out there, thank you so much for joining the show. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please follow wherever you are on the internet listening to this or watching, or subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, we have extra stuff on there that we don't have on all of the other streaming platforms. So you might want to check it out. With that being said, stay spooky, everybody. Catch you later, dudes.